Bugoma Gongwa, MONBASA MVITA. Today's topic is going to be about a great leader, a great Roman leader. His name was Tiberius Gracchus Sempronius, born to Scipio Africanus, the one I used to call Scipio Africanus, so whichever the way you pronounce it, and Cornelia. He was born in 163 BC and died in 133 BC. Scipio Africanus is a great general who led the battle against Hannibal in Carthage, which is today Tunisia. He had a daughter called Cornelia, who said she didn't want to be called by the name of the father, but she wanted the son called by her name. When Tiberius grew up, he joined the army and he went fighting across Spain, Iberia that time. And during his campaigns, military campaigns, he was able to come across the common lives that the people used to live. And the soldiers who had retired from the army, because that time, when soldiers got injured, they were given a small piece of land or something like that, and they were just left like that. But eventually later, they were given nothing. So, Tiberius, when he finished his service in the army as a military man, he joined the Senate, and Rome was ruled by Senate. The Roman Empire was an empire that was ruled by Senate. So when he joined the Senate, he wanted to advance the grievances of those people who were disabled. Unable, not disabled physically, but disabled in life. Because the rich people had bought all the land, they had everything they had, and the Senate sided with those people. The poor people had little value, though they were needed during voting. So patronage was there. The poor people would go and they're given a little money for voting. And the senators had larger number of votes. It was not only one vote. It was not the fair type of voting that we have. So when he advanced and joined the Senate, he decided to advance the plight of the people, the plight of the poor, the plight of the soldiers who had been injured, who had left the army and they had nothing to live in. In fact, the saying goes that he said, foxes have holes, but a common Roman soldier who was retired or citizen doesn't even have a home, a place to cover his head in. So what happened? Tiberius decided to use his power in the Senate to advance the cause of the poor people. And he started with the reforms of the plebs. There was a rebellion. How did it happen? Senators could not imagine that a senator like them, a rich man like them, would be fighting for the cause of the poor people. So they waited for Tiberius. There was a bridge there. And when he was advancing his courses, the senators came and hit him with the chairs that they had, because they used to have a meeting, a small meeting nearby. He sat there and tried to advance the causes of the poor. And the senators beat up Tiberius with their chairs until they killed him, and they threw his body into River Tiber. But that did not stop whatever was happening. His brother Gaius led with the reforms in the plebs. He made so many reforms, but eventually he was killed. And his death led to the decline of the Roman Empire. He was a man who was concerned, a hero who died for his people. What am I talking about? I'm talking about people who have been concerned about their community. People who have been concerned about their citizens, who are poor, who are not in the same class as other people, who suffer on a daily basis. Some have paid the biggest price ever. Some have paid with their lives. But it does not mean that when a warrior pays with his life, the struggle is over. Just like Gaius' brother took over, another one takes over from Tiberius, Gracchus, Sempronius. Maybe he may be from the rich family. Maybe he may have gone through the rigors of rising up the ladder. But the community needs a Tiberius, Gracchus, Sempronius. A person who has the welfare of the citizens at heart. Gracchus, Tiberius, Sempronius did it for the Roman plebs, for the Roman poor. It does not stop there. Other countries around the world, in Africa and including Kenya, if one has a heart to grow up the cause of the poor, the provision for the poor, and advancement for the poor, then one will have to do simple things, bring life down for the poor to manage. It can be done. Sempronius, Gracchus, and Tiberius did it. And when they tried to stop it, Gaius did it. So, to the people of the world, I said it is a system thing. And it is a caste thing. Somebody who has got a good conscience should fight. Not for the caste, no. But for the citizenry. The normal citizenry, the local citizenry, the normal citizen. Behind me here are baskets full of things, loaded clothes, things like that. And up there is a blanket. That blanket signifies the carpet that they used to say, a flying carpet in the Arabian stories. In the society, are your activities able to take the common people on that magic carpet? Float them out of poverty, float the country out of poverty, or will you join? That time it was only the Senate, so do not take my word when I say Senate. Senate means leadership. Will you take the side of the Senate? Maintain the Senate's needs, the system, and that caste at the expense of the small people. If one does that, eventually the whole Senate system crashes down. And we have a situation like that that came later by a commander of the army called Lucius Cornelius Lucius Cornelius Sulla. It came out of such a situation. So, for the African leaders, for people in society, this is a call that we should follow an example of Tiberius Gracchus Sempronius, a man who gave it all, gave the ultimate prize, gave his life for the poor, the downtrodden. That is my call to the African society. That's my call to the African leaders. That's my call to any position you are in. Are you able to take care of the lowly? Tiberius, though he was killed by the senators with their chairs, meaning that some people try to advance this and there is a lot of opposition from places that matter. Follow your conscience. Follow your conscience. And if those people in power won't remember you, the public will remember you, like Tiberius Gracchus Sempronius, who was thrown in the Tiber River. But people remember the Tiber. And when you remember the Tiber, you remember Tiberius Gracchus Sempronius, a kind-hearted man who left the big position to fight for those who are lowly trodden. That is my take for now.